combats terrorism is author Deepak Chopra, who said this shortly after the attack in Mumbai.
I think Mr. Obama has a real opportunity here, but a challenging opportunity, a creative opportunity. Get rid of the phrase war on terrorism. Ask for a creative solution in which we all participate.
With us now is Mr. Chopra, the author of the new book, Jesus, A Story of Enlightenment. Also with us, his son, Gotham Chopra. I bet you got a lot of bad comments, bad email on that, huh?
Good comments, too.
You got, well, which did you get more of? You're a pinhead or you're a good guy?
No, on the Huffington Post,
well,
good ones.
That's a far
on the right wing, the bad post.
Yeah, the Huffington Post.
Everybody shared their perspective, but I got good.
All right, but you understand why people are a little angry about that?
Yes.
Okay, I mean...
You see, people think, and one thing I should make clear, this was used as an attack personally on me that I'm anti-American.
Well, that's ridiculous. You're not anti-American.
I came to this country with $1. I'm living the American dream.
I know you. You're not anti-American. Anybody who says that, you give me their name and I'll take care of them.
Yeah, Mr. Rabinowitz.
But I think you're naive. I think you're very naive.
No, I don't agree with that.
All right. I know, of course you don't. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, I respect your opinion. It's not mine, though.
I'm going to appoint you Secretary of Defense right now. All right? And your son is going to be your first deputy.
Okay.
What do you do? How do you change?
I pick up the phone. I call the Prime Minister of Pakistan. I say, I'm giving you $1 billion in military aid a year. I want you to arrest all these people right now. I want you to stop all funding for Lashkar-e-Taiba. I want you to strangulate the financial supply line. I would also call Saudi Arabia and tell them to do the same thing.
All right, so I'm on the other end of the phone and I'm going, hey, I'll take the billion here, Secretary of Defense.
No, you're already getting it.
All right.
I'm going to cut it off.
All right, you're going to say if you don't do it, I'm going to cut it off.
Yeah, I'm going to cut it off.
All right, so you're going to call him up and you're going to threaten the man.
Yes.
Okay, you're going to threaten him and say you're not going to get another dollar from America unless you arrest all these thugs. You go up and you fight them.
And finish these organizations because you are, if not stopping them, you're tolerating them.
He says, no, I'm not going to do that. You're not going to give me orders, Secretary of Defense Chopra. I'm going to do what I do because my intelligence agency, the ISI, as you know, you've been over there, all right, is deeply embedded with these fundamental terrorists. And if I start to attack them, they're going to kill me just like they killed Mrs. Bhutto. So what do you say? Go ahead.
I think the real pressure you have to apply is to the Pakistani people. I mean, ultimately...
Apply pressure to the Pakistani people. Now,
in the sense of if they know that their leader is not taking the money, if they know that they're not accepting the support of the United States, I mean, their economy is in shambles.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, the majority of people, most of whom are not terrorists, who don't support terrorists in Pakistan, I mean the populace, they have no reason to sort of align themselves with fundamentalists. And the worst
there's a lot of, in the Pashtun community and a lot of the other communities, is sympathy. Okay, now let's get back to the United States. I live in a town with 29 people in my area were killed on 9/11. All right? Let me tell you, they want the war on terror to be called the war on terror.
It's an oxymoron.
Okay, it may be. But they got dead fathers, mothers, and kids in this area, all right? They don't have time for this. So what do you say to them? What do you say? Well, I mean, we have been kept safe by a very tough, stringent Bush administration attack on terror. That's kept us safe, and you want to change it.
I want to say, treating the symptoms doesn't get rid of the origins of this savage terrorism.
You can't.
The match that lights this terrorism is an ideology that is fierce, that is brutal, that is savage, that is primitive. But the fuel that fires that flame are some of our policies.
Like what? Give me one.
The war on Iraq.
Okay.
Iraq had nothing to do with it. Guantanamo Bay, these interrogation methods.
Where would you
Abu Ghraib
where
prison.
would you, the war in Iraq aside, because that was a mistake, putting blood and treasure.
Siding with the Taliban, supporting the Taliban, funding the
against
Taliban.
The Russians?
Yeah, but
against the Russians? Nobody could have foreseen that.
Yeah, but we used extremists, religious extremists, fanatics.
To fight the communists who invaded Afghanistan.
Then we abandoned them and we left guns and rage there.
Well, let's get back to Guantanamo.
We even funded the...
Let's get back to Guantanamo, okay?
Yeah.
You got 250 guys over there right now. Where do you want to put them?
I had anti-terrorist experts on my show yesterday.
Tell them where you put them.
And all they said is that that's one of the biggest factors in fueling
Where are you going to put... All right, fine. Where are you putting them?
Where are you putting them?
Yeah.
Put them in upstate New York. So
upstate New York?
Yeah, why not?
in a regular penitentiary in upstate New York?
Why not?
Give him a civilian lawyer?
I think, why not? This
Why
is a
not?
democrat. Don't we want to live up to our ideals?
No, we captured those people overseas, not here. Took 4 years to convict Moussaoui.
And then the only place we went was where we could do illegal things, Bill.
We didn't do illegal things.
But Bill, you have to admit that there's dozens of those people that you're talking about in Guantanamo Bay who charges have never even been brought against.
I think the military tribunals should try.
And I think on a case-by-case basis, you have to figure out with each one of these. Some you want to repatriate because there's no charges to be brought
but you can't put them in civilian court because the people who testified against them won't show up. You know that, because their families would be wiped out.
But I don't think military tribunals have not proven to be an adequate solution. Maybe you set up
they're not quick enough. They're not quick enough.
These are all things, and I think, to try to apply simplistic, general sort of solutions to a complex problem is a mistake.
Well, the simplistic solutions have kept us safe now for 7 years. We haven't been attacked.
We haven't had an attack, but if you look at these Bombay attacks, Americans, British, Israelis were being singled out by these killers.
Final question for you, Mr. Chopra, and we appreciate you coming in here.
I'm very happy to be here.
The far left doesn't want any interrogation methods that he's captured suspected terrorists. Nothing. All right? Don't make them comfortable anyway. You buying into that?
Yes, I totally buy into that.
So if your son right over here, Gotham, was killed, all right, by a terrorist, all right, you're still going to say, no, nothing, no tough interrogation?
I come from a family where my family members were murdered by terrorists in the India-Pakistan partition. All my parents talked about during my entire childhood, and that's what they hear from me, is go to the deeper causes.
No tough interrogation.
I don't believe in treating symptoms.
So you'll get no information, none, on attacks like Mumbai. Nothing, because you won't put any pressure on the people who are captured.
We can get all that information from the Pakistani government if you put pressure on them, and from the
Pakistani
ISI.
government.
Absolutely, and the ISI, who are our allies.
All right. It was a great conversation. I still believe you're naive. I think you're a good man.
I respect your views, but they're not my views.
All right.
I think you're too naive, Bill.
All right. Well, we'll see. Next on